that speak to the language. But then it says the altar. Go into that real quick.
Yeah.
Because that's the fulfillment
Isaiah
of that
19.
right now. Yep.
Isaiah 19, yeah.
It said the hour cometh when the true worshipers shall worship me in spirit and in truth.
In
The
spirit and
and truth is the scriptures. So we're doing it right now. We're fulfilling what Yahawashi said. We're worshiping right now because we're teaching.
Oh, worship him in spirit and truth. We got the name through the spirit. We got the Hebrew through the spirit. You know, Nate knocking the Hebrew. We don't know. That shows you he's not spiritual.
But why would he command his people that under him to get Hebrew names?
Yeah.
And why did he change his name to Hebrew name?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that guy Yahawashi.
So either you with it or you're not.
Or you ain't.
You can't have it both ways.
Double-minded man.
Yep.
That guy Yahawashi. That Yahawashi ain't Swahili. That's Hebrew, man. You know, and then he had the other guy. He had another Hebrew name, straight up Hebrew name. But then Nate said, "Nah, we don't have the Hebrew."
You know that guy, 21 Savage from Atlanta. That dude from England, but he said he was born in Atlanta. He's stick-up kid and all that. But he's really from England, and I think his father's a doctor in England. And they deported him. They didn't deport him, but they ICE got him, and they get ready to deport him. But you know, they said his real name. He had 3 names, and they're all Hebrew names. I think Joseph, Yahawashi, Abraham, something like that. I mean, if you look his name up, it'll tell you. So his father probably knows that he's a chick. Right. You know?
Right. Makes sense.
All right, where we at?
Verse
Isaiah 19.
This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 18. It says, "In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan."
Now, what's the language of Canaan? Hebrew.
That's right.
If you go to Google and you put the Canaanite tongue, you know what's going to pop up?
Hebrew.
Ancient Hebrew.
Ancient Hebrew, yeah.
You know, Lashwan Qadash, whatever you want to call it. Paleo Hebrew. You know?
Yep, Paleo Hebrew, yeah.
So the 5 means there's going to be a certain number of cities, not all of them, in Egypt, which Egypt is talking about this Egypt, the spiritual Egypt, that's going to speak the language of Canaan. So we are speaking some broken Hebrew, you know?
Yeah.
That's right.
Go ahead.
"And swear to the Lord of hosts."
And that's what we're doing. We're swearing to the Lord over here in Egypt, the other Egypt, all right?
And you'd have to know his name to swear to the Lord of hosts. Which, for you to know his name, you'd have to know the Hebrew. His name is in Hebrew. Hey, when the Apostle Paul, when he got knocked off the horse, Yahawashi told him, he said, "Who art thou?" Yahawashi told him his name. And then the Apostle Paul said, "I heard in the Hebrew tongue." So Yahawashi told the Apostle Paul his name in the Hebrew tongue. Because Apostle Paul specifically said, "I heard in the Hebrew tongue." Right? Yeah.
That was written there.
Now, if you want to jump up and say, "Oh, it's really Aramaic," well, let me say this, man. When you go to the blue letter, a lot of times you come to, like, you go to Daniel and you go to the Hebrew, it'll say that that's an Aramaic word. But guess what? When you read it, it's still Hebrew. Because who was Aram? He was one of the sons of Shem.
Right.
So what language did he speak?
Hebrew.
Lashwan Qadash. All right?
That's right.
Now, Aramaic is a little slightly different from Hebrew, but if you hear certain Aramaic words, you can say, well, that's a Hebrew word that means this.
Yeah.
Instead of bar, it's bun is bar. Simon Bar Jonah. That would be Aramaic. Tongue twister, you know? Sakura, you can bring your truck around this. It's only 11:32.
Well, I'll park right there.
Okay, good. So we good?
I'll go warm it up.
All right, warm it up.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, read on.
It says, "One shall be called the city of destruction."
So is not this the city of destruction?
Oh yeah.
Ultimately, it's going to be totally destroyed.